You get the barbecue. Show and tell me how you do. If you're 5 or 82, well, this is something you can do. Hey, pop it, lock it,
polka dot it.
Now let's unpack that.
Yeah, please.
Your pop it. So pop it's easy. Give me a pop. Pop it. Now lock it.
I think that you throw your arms up, pop it. So it's pop it, lock it.
Polka dot it.
I feel like it would be like.
Okay, but I think she just like a poke. I think she goes. Pop it, lock it, polka dot it. Now you countryfy.
Countryfy.
Now hip hop it.
Oh, I think you would jump forward, like hip hop it. You know what I mean? Put your hawk
in the sky.
Move side to side. Jump to the left.
Stick it. Glide.
Glide.
Zigzag.
Yeah, she's insane.
Zigzag. Across the floor. Shuffle in diagonal. Now, what is a zigzag across the floor?
So a zigzag across the floor is like you're going to be moving like in a
2-boot shuffle.
It's a 2-boot shuff, like you're moving in a Z fashion.
Then you're shuffling in diagonal. What is the difference between a zigzag across the floor and a shuffle in diagonal?
So it's like zigzag
across the floor. Shuffle in
No, so I think what she's saying is the zigzag is the overarching theme, and then the shuffle in diagonal. She's just telling you how to zigzag across the floor.
Right? Is she not?
Yeah, she's telling you how to zig.
When the drum hits, hands on your hips. One foot in, 180 twist. Now that's interesting because a 1-footed 180 twist means you're hopping on one foot.
And like not a lot of people have that stability.
But you're only hopping 180 degrees. So then you're facing the opposite way. 1-footed 180 twist.
Yeah.
Zigzag. Again.
She's obsessed with zigzag.
You're stepping and you're sliding.
I hope there's no water on the floor.
Step slide is easy. Lean in left. Clap 3 times. Throw it all together. That's how we roll.
Okay.
And don't get me started on the ice cream freeze.
The thing is about that, it's like she wanted to tell you what to do. There were so many instructions. There was almost a rule book. But at the same exact time, if there's a dance, I want to be in the know and I want someone to lay it out for me.
But I'll say, I don't necessarily think I ever truly learned the hoedown throwdown. I think I was always a little bit perplexed and peculiarized by the notion of the hoedown throwdown.
I'll tell you why you were perplexed and confused, because there were so many instructions and she wishes she was Cupid Shuffle, but she couldn't be the Cupid Shuffle.
And then Ice Cream Freeze wishes it was hoedown throwdown.
I absolutely agree.
Because the Ice Cream Freeze that's when I said, you know what, maybe we've kind of bridged too far with this one. Do you even know the ice cream freeze?
I don't even think I know the ice cream freeze.
And that's for the best.
But keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it in the family. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. Cha-cha slide is so simple.
It's so because it's slow. It's easy to follow.
But you remember the controversies. There was always a controversy surrounding the how you do the Charlie Brown. I think some people were doing this. Some people were using their arms. Some people were grabbing a leg and like shuffling a little bit. Some people, there was a lot of Charlie Brown confusion, and this was not at a time of our lives where like TikTok or YouTube was prevalent to teach everyone one universal way.
Yeah.
So there are different ways to Charlie Brown.
Because when the Charlie Brown hit that part hits in the song, I'll tell you one thing.
It's almost freestyle.
I'm looking around.
Yes, because I'm like, what is everyone else gonna do?
I'm begging for inspiration.
Yes, yeah.
And by the off chance that like you're in middle school and like Kyle in the right corner is doing something crazy.
You want to be like Kyle?
I want to be like Kyle.
Have you ever attempted a worm, doing the worm?
Yes, but my worm is like a legitimate beached whale. I think that I could do it now, maybe.
Can you? No, don't even try.
I can't even try right now, but I think that I do it in the streets after. I would do it in the streets after.
Okay, well, we'll get some footage on the way when we get our snack today.
Yeah, please, 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 please.
I don't think I've ever attempted. I think I know myself a little too well sometimes. I think I said there's no shot here.
I think you would rather be dead that commands attention in the way of the worm.
Well, because the thing is, it's almost the same as doing an accent in front of people. It's like in my head, I know I could probably like get this job done, but God forbid I fuck up and I'm laying on the floor of a catering hall while all of my peers surround me looking down at me. I might as well be dead.
But it's also like, you know, growing up fat, it was embarrassing because it was like someone was like, get on the floor, and then you do it and you can't do it, so it's even more of a reason
layers
because
like, you're doing it and you're like, are they laughing at me because I'm being funny, or are they laughing at me because I'm fat?
Because I can't really do it, and it looks like I'm actually like convulsing on the floor. But the thing about me, obviously, it's like, don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure for my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. I was playing into it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I'm just a beached whale.
Haha, laugh at me because I'm telling you to, not because I'm afraid that you're going to.
I would deprecate myself rather than you put me down.
And you would defecate yourself every single day.
Well, I mean, toot toot in this boot boot.
Good children. Whoa. Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
and Andrew Muscarella
reflect on our... I feel like Mitch McConnell. Reflect on our... I'm like,
Joe?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
and Andrew Muscarella
reflect on our joint childhood.
Reflect on our 22 years of friendship. I know, Joe. I want you to keep all of this in.
I'm going to. It's actually kind of scary.
It's kind of getting scary, yeah.
God. Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
and Andrew Muscarella
reflect on our 22 years of friendship.
Growing up in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
And all of the trauma.
Oh! Joe, do you need a brain scan? We have to call an ambulance.
We gotta call Kenny. Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
and Andrew Muscarella
reflect on our 22 years of friendship.
Growing up in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
And all of the nostalgia,
trauma,
and best friend breakups that go along with it.
Oh.
With that being said, this is our final episode.
Yeah, so we didn't want to have to tell you, but we've been fighting a lot off camera.
Even more than we fight on camera.
Which is crazy. So
no, stop. Don't even hurt their hearts like this.
Why would we even put that out there into the universe?
We've done that. We've said, season 1, we said we're quitting this podcast.
No, we ended the season.
I think it was saying we're done, and people genuinely thought we were serious.
Shit.
Yeah, no, that's not true. I really do think we're going to be doing this for almost too long.
I think it's to a point where you're like,
you guys.
They're not even talking about really anything anymore. Which at this point we're still doing.
They're just moaning and groaning back and forth, making noises
and like doing plays on words that don't even exist. And like toot 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 toot.
Also, starting a new tradition this week, we want to celebrate our patron of the week. I think that we both agree that this particular patron is putting in the work to spread the good word and keep the mission of Good Children alive.
And like also like running that Patreon.
I know, it's kind of crazy. So this week's patron of the week is Han, aka HS. They are literally truly basically a moderator of the Patreon group chat, and have planned a Patreon online meetup on Google Meets.
So if you're not a patron already,
you'll miss something like that.
And there's going to be plenty more of those.
We joined.
We surprised.
And we thought we were Kendall and Kylie wearing disguises on the TMC tour bus, and turns out we weren't.
We're like, they're never gonna guess.
So what are we talking about this week?
Today we're talking best friend breakups. We're talking classic best friend breakups, our own personal best friend breakups. We're talking celebrity best friend breakups. We're talking it all.
And we're apparently talking about line dances at great length.
Line dancing. I think that we'll get back in.
That conversation is not over.
That conversation is not over because I have a lot of things to say about all of those dances.
I have a lot of things to say about
Yeah, the Macarena. Joe, I'm like genuinely so scared of your energy right now because I'm like, are you good in the head?
I'm fine, yeah.
Okay, good.
I feel like kind of amazing.
Yeah, you look amazing.
Thank you.
I'll say that is the yerba mate hitting you?
The yerba mate's hitting like I just like did ayahuasca. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah. And again, like, I know we talk about yerba mate is the only reason that we have a podcast, but like I do, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the main. But the energy is just unlike anything else.
And they won't cut us a check. And it's actually fine. Like, we'll keep buying their products.
And we'll keep talking about them. They're like, join our ambassador program.
Do you guys remember when we used to talk about Tums?
Remember when we used to talk about Tums? Because
now I pop Pepsid every single day.
Yeah.
So things have only gotten worse for me.
And you know what I'll be doing? Reaching out to Pepsid.
Saying when we do pharmaceutical ads, I can't wait. I can't wait. So I feel like this is an interesting subject because we've gotten the request a lot and we've gotten some callers.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe if you listen to this podcast, you clearly you vibe with friends.
Yeah.
You have a friendship kink. You like having friends. You like
It's
witnessing friendships. You know, you enjoy the act of friendships. But at the same time, with all friendships come conflict, as we've learned together on Shelter Island.
We've experienced, whether we've talked about it or not, conflict. And we are both two extremely passive people, as you know. So like we don't often get into fights. I think that like if we were to talk a little bit more frequently about our feelings, we could hash things out.
For sure.
We can dish it out.
For sure.
But the thing is, we've gotten this far.
We've gotten this far.
And there hasn't been a breakup, even though like maybe you've thought about breaking up with me at one point.
Only that one time.
That one time. Thank God.
Really only that one time.
It genuinely
Except in like
is shocking.
middle school and high school. But that was just like me.
Besides in middle school, high school, and one time in college. But
opening yourself up to the possibility of friendship is opening yourself up to the possibility of pain and loss.
Which like you don't sometimes even conceptualize when you start to becoming a friend with somebody, because you're putting in all of this effort, this energy, you're hanging out with them, you're so excited, and then you still can experience the same exact like morning of a relationship that you do in an actual romantic relationship.
If not a worse morning, because at least you do kind of go into a romantic relationship thinking this could always end in a breakup. With a friend, you're like, this person's not going anywhere. Sometimes they go somewhere, and sometimes you don't want to follow them there.
Or sometimes they don't go anywhere, but you want them to go somewhere.
Friends break up, friends get married.
Wow.
That song changed my life.
That song did change your life.
It really did.
I feel like what album that was?
That was Evermore.
Evermore.
Yeah.
That album, I feel like, really had a hold on you for a second.
It did, and I listened to it this weekend for the first time in a while.
Oh, that's why you seem different. You seem low.
No.
I'm kidding. Yeah, no, like, actually, it's
I have to stop.
It's so good. It's so good. Have you experienced, I feel like you have experienced breakups, though, with friends.
Andrew, yeah, I went through a really toxic phase where I had a different best friend every single year for 5 years, and every single one went down in flames.
They went down in flames. And they cannot come back. And I do want to say
Some have come back.
Some have come back.
I feel like I think I've definitely discussed it before, but I feel like I went through a long-term period of my life where I was like having very, very unfortunate friendships with a lot of people. I think that it came from being closeted. I think that it came from like wanting to be liked really badly, not really knowing who I was. I used to have a problem with group chats.
In a sense of like you would be overactive in the group chat or not enough.
I think because I had no social life, like I was always on that damn phone. I was always in a group chat, but it always become a threesome. Like a 3-person group chat, I think is like the downfall of society. I think it probably is what led to the fall of Rome. Is like someone probably had a 3-person group chat. 100%.
And then it's done.
Yeah.
It's like they fell off.
You can't have 3 people as best friends. You genuinely can't. You can have 4.
You need a 4th.
You cannot have 3. Like 3 is a dangerous number to play with.
Sometimes like I think they even can go in the context of a throuple sometimes.
I can't even imagine. I can't even. If I was ever in a throuple, it'd be murder-suicide.
It'd be
murder-suicide. I know for a fact.
On spot.
I have no doubt in my mind.
Because it's not even, I guess it is kind of a jealousy thing, but it's it's like if my partner was to look at my other partner more than they were looking at
Yes,
me,
I would lose
I'd
my
be like,
mind.
You're a fucking creep. I can't believe you're not giving
I
me
would
attention.
lose my fucking
Go fuck
mind.
yourself.
I would go crazy.
Yeah,
I would
crazy.
go crazy.
Yes.
And that would happen in group chats, and that's like a completely varying degree of intimacy. And I would feel like I felt like I would be. It was always me, our friend Frank, and someone else, and we'd rotate out who that person was. And that person would always like get too close to the subject, and then I feel like things would just blow up.
Yeah.
But they're tough. They're not easy to go through.
They're not easy things to go through, and then especially if you have to continue to see your friend, like see that person in groups in anything.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's always uncomfortable and unspoken, but everyone in that room knows.
But I've always had this like I've always loved the feeling. I feel like it's a problem.
Drama.
Well, no, I think actually you like drama more than I like drama.
You think
it's
so?
something that I'm realizing. After that time when we set our intentions for that party we went to, and your intention was that you wanted drama to happen, mine was I wanted to laugh. I was like, that shouldn't.
I don't want to be
wires got
involved
crossed
in the drama.
Yeah, but you like witnessing drama.
But I like to witness
hate witnessing drama because I think the issue is I can't sit by. I can't be a bystander to injustice. I have to speak up. And like, if there's drama and I feel like one person is the victim in the drama, I'm not gonna be like, not my business. I'm gonna be like, why don't you go fuck yourself, you bitch? And then that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I'm in the back like,
yeah.
No.
And then it's like, oh, Joe's the dramatic one.
No, it's like, whoa, Joe really like overstepped his boundaries with that one. Like, that was not his conversation to be in.
No, I just like always feel the need to speak up. Speak out.
Oh, absolutely. I think that friendship breakups though happen as you continue to like grow into your own. I feel like I'm also realizing, do you think you're a friend bomber?
I think I was.
Yeah, I think that you were, and I think that I was as well, especially in college, or like even like when I moved to a new city or whatever. Like you gain all of these new friends and you hang out with these people all the time, and then
you're like,
as
that's my new best. That's friend.
My bestie.
I do everything with them. I'm going on vacation with them.
Yeah,
like,
literally going on vacation with them, and then it gets to a point where you're like, other things come up, life starts happening, you start getting into your own, and then you stop kind of talking to them. You kind of dump, but then you don't realize what the other person is going through.
Yeah, of course. It's so unfair.
Have you, let's be honest. Let's be open and let's be honest and let's be vulnerable. Have you ever experienced jealousy when it's come to my personal friends?
Always, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I think I've grown out of it.
How have you processed it? Like in those moments? By hating them.
We've had this conversation a million times. This isn't anything new. Of course. I think I've grown out of that phase, but I think for sure again, when you went away to school, I feel like, I mean, starting I think with high school for me, I was like, oh, I'm gonna lose this person, you know. So like it was from middle school, I was like, we're locked in. Even middle school probably started though, because in elementary school I was locked in. That is until the 5th grade elections when I wasn't chosen as the campaign manager, and I said, hold on here, this isn't what I signed up for. I thought that we were friends. So then that started maybe a potential rift that went on for the rest of our lives.
It's shocking that we did. It is shocking that you didn't just say, I'm not your friend anymore after that. That was compassion.
Andrew,
Joe.
come on.
That was compassion.
I think that maybe it was almost compassion on your side for maintaining the friendship. Going forward, then I feel like it was like going to middle school, it's like, oh, you have a lot of friends.
Yep.
I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah.
You were in sports, you were in extracurrics, you were like really popping off. Now I'm like, hold on, like I found some new friends, but it was not the same.
Yeah.
I guess we really are kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Like I think in some ways we were truly soulmates. So it was like, for me, I was like, well, I just hope to God that this friendship maintains. And yeah, of course I'll have other friends, but it's not the same thing as this.
Yeah.
And then in high school, it was like the most separated we've ever been. It was a lot harder to actually keep up with each other's lives. And also social media was introduced.
Yeah.
And I'll say one thing about every person, and this, including myself, every person who's friends with Andrew it's like you have your little puppet to post on social media at all times. Like you want to show off that you know Andrew. So in high school, it was like, oh, like I would open up like Snapchat or Instagram on like a Friday night, and I was alone, and I would go through like 7 people's Instagram stories that was Andrew twerking in Applebee's.
Because the thing,
and I was like, I should be there.
Even to this day, I love a camera.
You love a camera.
I love a camera. Like, I'm obsessed with it. Like I can really pull out the camera on myself, but I love when people take camera. Yeah. So I get. And
you'll do anything. Like I think a part of your brain turns off when the camera's in front of you. Like you become fully like instinct based.
Like completely shameless. Yes. Like I'll do anything anywhere at any time.
Everything everywhere all at once.
Legitimately, yes. But yeah, I did feel though. Obviously, in those moments, it's hard, especially if I'm like looking at it from a third eye perspective, and for our listeners too, especially when you start feeling jealousy or whatever for other people's friends. I think that from my perspective, I was like, I didn't even see it as jealousy necessarily. I saw it as like, Joe just, like, my friends suck. I was like, Joe just hates my friends. Well,
I also think I have a high, like, I think that, like, at the same time, we haven't even gotten to the hatred yet, because I obviously was friends with all the high schoolers, all the Dalers.
Yes, you were.
But I just feel like, again, it's on me. Like I was like, I'm sitting alone. Like I haven't made many close friends, and I was like, I was feeling deeply insecure.
Yeah.
Bringing into college, I didn't even go away to school. I lived at home, had no social life. All of my friends were away at school except for Frank.
Yeah.
Me and Frank, he could get in this podcast. He could probably list about 2,000 insane things I did in college as his friend. But at this point, I feel like now, obviously, like high school, you had like John Paul, like you had like your like new closest friend, new best friend, and then in college, it's like the separation between us had become so intense.
Yeah.
That like it was like we no longer, I feel like, acted or considered each other best friends.
No, because I think that like at that point, especially because you stayed at home and I went away, I felt like I was in a completely new chapter.
Yeah, I was right where you left me. You were. I was the friend that you outgrew, and I was the toxic friend.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, Joe's staying at home, like he's commuting to school, like that's completely fine. People do that, but I was like, this is my time to live on my own, make my new friends. I know literally nobody. Yeah. But even in my head, I was never like, I'm moving on from Joe. And I was just like, yeah, I'll see Joe when I go home.
Yeah, well then we did.
For sure.
And that was honestly like always the highlight of my year. Yeah. Was when you would come home from college. Aww. I was like, thank God he's back.
And I was coming back. Like it was like October break, Thanksgiving.
And I was relieved every single time.
Yeah. I thought in my head, Joe's still my best friend. I'm thinking in my head, like if I'm not talking to one of my friends for months on end, like they're still one of my close friends. Yeah. But they might not be feeling that way. And it is my job to also make that person recognize that I appreciate their friendship.
Someone's got to reach out somewhere. Yes. I think is the thing. I think that's the thing. I think someone has to reach out. If neither party is willing to reach out, that is a sign of immaturity. I feel like on both ends. If one person's reaching out, the other person's not responding, I would say take the hint.
Yeah.
I would say take the hint.
And if you want that friend in your life, you would reach out to them.
Did you ever do No Shave November?
You want to talk about No Shave November?
Did you ever do No Shave November?
I did do no. I think I had to do it in college.
No one has to do No Shave No. It's your foot. It's what's happening is your foot is bunching up the rug. No one has to do No Shave November.
Well, when there's like either money on the line or like your word on the line, I'm gonna do No Shave November.
What do you mean?
The Chimes did No Shave November. Okay? So I don't want to be a freaking loser freak. Yeah, I look like a leprechaun.
Why?
Because my beard gets orange.
And it
gets auburn.
Yeah, I guess you are tiny.
And I'm tiny. Everyone thinks I'm 3 feet tall. So, I mean, put me in your pocket. Put me in your pocket. But yeah, I had to do No Shave November. And it was mortifying because I was like, I look horrible. Horrible.
That was I feel like that started picking up at like the end of high school.
Yeah.
And I remember like trying to do it as a crutch for like I just had a terrible flashback to something embarrassing I did.
Can you please elaborate?
It wasn't even that embarrassing. It's just like weird. It just like is another example of me being fucking weird forever. I
Are you not
remember
gonna-
like
okay.
I remember really wanting to, like, you know, when you're like 16, you like really want to have facial hair. Like it's
For
like
sure.
the goal. I remember like really wanting to have facial hair. And I remember like growing like my wispy start of a beard, very wispy, disgusting, like
Yeah, it's like
pubescent beard.
patchy.
Yeah, and like it's like very fine. It's like hair in your head. And I remember just wanting someone to notice so badly that I had like been growing a like facial hair. And at St. Anthony's, you couldn't have any kind of facial hair. You had to be clean shaven. So I remember like getting on the bus one day and like turning to this kid in my bus, and I was like, just lied, and I was like, oh my god, I got like a detention today because of my beard.
That wasn't there. It was like
And it
one
was like
piece of hair.
clear, yeah, like it was like translucent, soft, wispy hair, like to here.
And you didn't get it.
No, and then he was like, "You got detention for like what?" And I was like, "For the beard, like for my beard, like I have a beard." And I got like Brother Joshua like stopped me in the hallway and like
you
yelled
should
at
get
me.
detention for seeing things because
I'm actually possessed.
you're possessed and you don't have a beard at all.
Yeah.
Oh no, Joe, that's okay.
Not
That's
as bad as that time I tried to then also shave the beard that I had into the Hunger Games Seneca Crane. Like he had those like circular.
That seems more like you.
Yeah.
That seems more like
It adds
you.
a lot more up.
Because both of the sides of the story, like there was an attention that you wanted and that you needed, and I'm happy
Why did
that
I need so much attention?
why did you need that?
I got such an insane amount of attention from my parents.
Yeah. But I feel like sometimes when you get attention from your parents, like it leaves you wanting more from others.
Yeah, I got too much attention.
You got too much attention because like if you're only getting attention from your parents and you're not getting attention in school or from friends or for whatever, it feels pretty isolating.
But I was also like, but the question still lingers. Like I wasn't doing anything to get the attention in school. I was like so afraid of getting attention in school.
But then you would like take it to social media or like take it one step further.
I would take
like,
it to
like,
Capitol Hill.
You would take it to Capitol. You would like take it to Capitol Hill, or you would like show up to the movie theater in Hunger Games drag.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's like whether you look at that as I want attention or not, like
I wanted attention.
You wanted attention.
I wanted attention.
You did want someone to say,
I didn't
"Hey,
show
bro,
up to
you
the
look
movie
good."
I did not show up to a movie theater dressed in Hunger Games drag. What I did was show up to an FYE, a For Your Entertainment DVD and CD store for the Hunger Games for the Hunger Games DVD premiere. The premiere of the DVD, not the movie.
I remember that, but you didn't with Suckin' with Sarah. You didn't go to the movies.
Stop saying Suckin' with Sarah. I went to the FYE dressed as Caesar Flickerman.
Yes.
I went to the AMC dressed as Jay Gatsby.
Oh,
Same year,
that's
same
what
year.
it was.
Yes, very different.
That one though is almost worse.
Well, either way, no one else was dressed up.
Yes.
So regardless of how you look at it.
Again, like I hate to keep lingering on this because this is not what the topic is about, but it just like blows my mind because as somebody who does suffer from some sort of anxiety when it comes to like sticking out like a sore thumb.
Sufferer of anxiety.
You're a former sufferer, but like you would put yourself in situations that would make you stick out. So I would think that you wouldn't do that.
You know what I learned yesterday?
What happened?
From a YouTube video. And it wasn't stated as a fact. So maybe I'm just repeating a false. I'm spreading misinformation. The body can't tell the difference between anxiety and excitement.
Oh. My body thinks I'm very excited.
Or does it? Are you excited? And are you feeling it as anxiety? Do you think before our live shows we were excited and we were feeling anxiety because it's what our body's used to?
I do think that I was just excited, but it was more like
excitement turned into anxiety.
Yeah, pressure. It's more pressure. It's pressure to perform.
Coal under pressure turns into a diamond.
A coal under pressure turns into a diamond.
That's a fact.
That's gorgeous.
Science. Yeah.
I kind of feel like that is a tattoo I would get. A coal under pressure turns into a diamond with a little diamond.
Where would you get that?
I would get that lower back.
That'd be beautiful.
Beautiful, right? And the diamond peak would go right into the crack.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming out of my crack. That is the mine. You're mining for diamonds.
When you spread, would there be anything else inside? Yeah.
I feel like
some coal
along
pieces.
the inner cheek. Yeah, you'll find some coal pieces. Yeah. Oh my God, we have to get this show taken away from us because it's crazy.
Do you have anxiety?
I actually I'm realizing more and more that I think sometimes I weaponize my anxiety. I do have an anxiety for sure, but I don't think it's as bad as I have believed it to be. It is more performance based, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I have social anxiety.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
No, I don't think you're anxious right now. You know what I love?
What?
An olive loaf.
Oh, I can tell you love an olive loaf because you can finish it in about 10 minutes.
I did not eat that olive loaf in the way that you did, Andrew.
No, Joe, your fingers were all over that.
First of all, that's not true. That's not true. You were swallowing.
You were sucking that.
You ate that olive loaf with the stracciatella in a matter of seconds.
What do you mean?
You were fingering the stracciatella. You were sucking the olive loaf.
You were slicing these pieces.
I didn't cut one piece of that loaf.
Because okay. No, I definitely saw you cut a slice. I was hosting. I was
too busy making martinis.
I was the host of the olive loaf.
It certainly was hosted in you.
Well, yeah, it was. It was the body of Christ.
I wasn't even trying to fight. I just wanted to say I love olive loaf, and look where we got.
Did I start the fight?
I think
I think I did.
It may have been me.
I know. I think I said that you really sucked it down. Anyways, I also do love an olive loaf. Recently, because I remember in our last apartment, you would come back with an olive loaf. I wouldn't even touch it.
I would clear it.
You would clear it, and I wouldn't even touch it. I would.
Well,
say
because
olives,
you also only started recently liking olives,
and
right?
I can't stop now.
That's what happens.
I can't stop.
When you get the right olive, when you have your first positive olive experience, you genuinely can't go back.
You can't. And like pits, sure. I can take an olive off its pit. Give me 1 second.
It goes in and out.
It's like a wing. It's like a buffalo wing. And then
you also suck a wing dry.
Okay, so if I'm being completely honest, and like that's me being honest,
leave meat on the bone?
I'll never forget. I was downstairs in your dining room.
Did you
I
get
think
yelled
that
at?
we were eating Hooters wings, probably.
Someone yelled at you.
Yeah, your dad yelled at me.
Yeah, of
and
course.
then obviously after your
What did
dad
he say?
says
You had no
something,
meat on
your sister has to chime in.
Right.
And that's always worse. Like your dad like speaking up or speaking to me in the first place always kind of makes
a little
me
scary,
sick.
yeah.
But like it's always out of like sarcasm.
Yes.
Amanda takes it one step further and it's like, you come on, you're not, because there especially with the wing itself, I wouldn't be like tonguing it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you needed to tongue and pull.
Yeah, snap and suck.
Yeah, see, you're a big snap and suck fan.
Snap and suck.
See, I'm a tug and pull.
And you would leave the meat between the bones on the bone.
At least a little bit of it.
That's wasteful.
And like
that chicken died.
But then you kind of like look around. I feel so bad for like sometimes vegetarians when I talk about this, but you take that bone and I'm like looking around the table and you guys are literally like sucking the bone, and like that's just not somewhere like I can't listen. I love to suck.
I was gonna say I've seen you suck a lot.
I love to suck. But I just can't get myself around sucking bones. I can't get myself around to sucking a bone.
That's interesting because I have it on record that you've been stealing human bones from a graveyard in Louisiana.
Why would you bring that up on the podcast?
Have you ever had a friendship breakup?
I have had a friendship breakup. I've had a few friendship breakups or a few friendship fade outs. I did have one really bad friendship breakup though. It was really bad.
Go.
I feel fine. I feel fine talking about it. And you know, if he's listening, he's listening. And like at this point, we're cordial. We're really cordial. It's actually kind of really bad. So in college, I was friends with somebody, and we were attached to each other's hip.
I think that you were in love with him.
Yeah, no, I was in love with him. I can say that on the podcast.
This is
I was in love with him.
Okay, this is actually important context for the history of everyone who's like, how did you guys not know you were gay? Yeah. We get asked that question every single fucking day of our lives. And it doesn't get old. I remember when you were obsessed with this man? He was
Yeah.
all over you, and you were all over him. I was like at home being like, Andrew's gay,
Yeah.
and in love with this man.
Yeah, I was definitely in love with him. And I think that at the time too, like, especially for like when you are gay and you do get male attention from another guy, like in a friendship setting, you're like, whoa, this is incredible. Like I want to hang out with you all the time type
Right.
deal. And when they want to hang out with you all the time too, it kind of fucks with you. You're kind of like, whoa. And then it got to a point where it was a little bit possessive on his end.
He was
to be
possessive.
like, I'd be like, oh, I'm going out tonight. And he'd be like, why are you going out tonight?
Wait, you were recently telling me a story in the podcast
Yeah.
last one. I didn't think it was him.
Yeah, why are you going out tonight? Wouldn't you want to just stay in and watch a movie?
And I said, this is so me.
And then I'm like, yeah, I'll stay and watch a movie. And like, I would stay in and watch a movie. Or if I was to go out or whatever, I would just feel in my head, regardless of if he was
would
judging
feel
or not, I
guilt?
would feel guilt. I would feel judgment. I would feel like
Andy.
I would feel like I could not.
Little Andrew Muscarella.
And I recognize it. And it is one of like, if I could relive my college experience and like be friends with him and not to the point that I would, because I did cut out a lot of people during those years, especially like my best friends, Caroline Dunn.
to be with him.
All the time. Like people wouldn't see me because I was with him all the time.
This is like actually like abusive narcissism in some ways.
And Joe, it gets so much worse.
What do you mean?
No, it gets so scary and so crazy. But anyways,
what do you mean?
yeah, no, it gets crazy. So
whenever I find out a new story in real time on this podcast, it's crazy to me.
So,
because you know everything that's ever happened to me, everything.
yep.
Here we go.
Anyways, I go away to abroad, and like I remember like saying bye to him, and I was crying. Like I was crying. Like I definitely was. Of course, like at
In
this
love.
point, I was like close friends with him for like a year and a half, and like I was experiencing something I've never
Andrew
experienced
didn't
before.
cry when you said goodbye to me. When you
I was like,
when you went abroad.
I was like, ugh, bye. No, I'm kidding. So I'm like crying. And then I'm like, okay, there's obviously a problem here. I go abroad. I come back. Something happened while I was away that like definitely shifted my perspective on this
right
person
yeah.
in general. So I was like, I need to keep my distance because I have loyalties to other friends that like this person can't be my friend anymore. It's, I think, the second day of acapella. We're living together at this point. And he was like, to other people was pretty sweet. Like he was definitely attractive and people were always like, oh my God, he's so cute. He's so hot, whatever. Oh, I was in acapella and like tensions were rising already. I feel like since I kind of was starting to cut him out a little bit or keep my distance, like he was kind of being nasty with me and snippy with me and all these different things. I get to acapella practice, Joe.
Shut up.
Get to acapella practice, Joe. I said one thing that like kind of like rubbed him the wrong way. I guess I didn't even mean it. And then he snapped at me, yelled, and then I got under his skin. He pushed me. He pushed me against the wall, Joe, in front of everybody. So I was like, oh, absolutely not. This person's not going to touch me. So then I went back to this is crazy. I went back to my apartment. I stormed into my apartment, went right into his room. And for the first time, I do believe in my life, I was like, absolutely fucking not. I am a person. I should not be talked to that way. You should never lay your hands on me. Like, I didn't intentionally say something to aggravate you. Clearly, you were aggravated and you're going through something. But from here on out, we are not friends. We are acquaintances. I will see you every day because I'm living in this space. But we will not be friends with each other and we will not talk from here. And then I left the room and I actually was like,
I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, I did that. I literally was like, I drew a line.
Good
He
for you.
pushed me.
That's crazy. I can't believe I've never heard this story before.
I know.
But that's why.
I don't think I ever really told anybody that story before because I was like, and it's intimate. It's like, when you're in a friendship that you lose sight of like yourself and like you feel like you're being owned or possessed or told what to do.
Oh my God.
Then you just feel genuine guilt. And it would just drive me crazy because I'm like, oh, I'm a bad friend if I'm not with him, or I'm all these different things. And I wouldn't really even be able to speak up. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't really be able to speak up.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's some
took
a
a turn.
separate piece shit in a big
Yeah.
way. I know that you don't want to read that book, but I think you should give it a read.
I should.
I think it would really, it's very familiar.
I should.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Thanks for letting me share my story.
Thank you for sharing it.
And again, at this point, we're cordial. We're amicable. And he's a completely different person now that he was when he was in college, and so am I. But that was my probably biggest breakup period because it felt like it was
it was.
a real breakup.
I mean,
for
I'm
me.
sorry if he pushed you against a wall. Like, it was not like a little friendship that was fizzling out. There was something else happening.
There was something there. Yeah.
Whoa.
Anyways,
Whoa.
the Macarena.
I love the Macarena.
I loved the Macarena.
And I'm glad you brought it up.
Of course.
Wow.
Oof. I know, it's like this podcast goes to all different
so many places.
So many places.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just, I'm a little bit shocked by the whole story.
Yeah. I have a lot of things to say about one, the Macarena, two, the Cotton Eye Joe.
Cotton Eye Joe.
But can we
when you
just
hear
say
that out
it?
loud, it doesn't sound right.
Can we just say it? When you said it,
You
think
said it.
when we both said it, I feel like some air in the room left.
Yeah.
And
it
I
sounds
do believe it sounds
bad.
extremely problematic.
It does. Now, what is a cotton eye? Is that a snake?
What is a cotton eye, please? Because
I'm just going to read what I'm seeing on Wikipedia.
please, okay, and we believe Wikipedia.
Well, I do.
Yeah, well, sure. Well, sure.
I do.
Well, sure.
But I don't know. Like, there's a few possible meanings. One meaning I don't even feel comfortable reading, but I'm going to read it because I'm reading it factually.
Okay.
Meaning one, the phrase may refer to being drunk on moonshine or having been blinded by drinking wood alcohol, turning the eyes milky white.
Okay. Okay.
The second one is a black person with very light blue eyes. That one, if that is the interpretation of Cotton Eye Joe, this song should no longer be played.
I completely agree.
The third one is minors as in like minors, not minors.
Yeah.
Covered in dirt with the exception of their white eyes. Someone whose eyes were milky white from bacterial infections of trachoma or syphilis.
Me.
Cataracts or glaucoma, or the contrast of dark skin tone around white eyeballs in black people.
Where do you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
How do you move on?
Is
So it could be
I've been married a
glaucoma
long
or it
time
could be
ago.
racism.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Yeah. I think that like
It was first written in 1882. So I'm going to say it's the racist one. I'm going to say it's the racist one.
And here we all are doing an Irish jig to it. Like, what?
How did we get here?
How did we get here from 1882? Who decided to do the Irish jig? Because I'll tell you one thing. That was my form of a hit workout. It was like, I actually could not have been doing more jumps. I was moving a lot. I think that my mom probably was looking at me being like, good for him.
And that was the thing. I remember being at like a function.
Yeah.
Doing the Cotton Eye Joe and saying, I could have an extra slice of cake after this.
Oh, Joe,
because I'm
yes.
burning sweat. I'm burning calories.
I'm dripping.
And that actually gets you into like, let's talk about Just Dance. Let's talk about dance-based aerobic workouts that were actually not a workout at all.
Yeah.
Because I remember doing Just Dance and saying, this means I could eat more today.
Yeah. Just Dance, just eat. I'll tell you one thing about Just Dance. Although it is a workout. It is a workout. 'Cause when you think about it now, they were ahead of the curve. Well, it was like a Zumba. It was like a 305.
It was like a 305.
It was like a 305
Rest in
fitness.
peace.
May they rest.
Yeah, I'll shut down.
Oh, may they rest.
May they rest.
But you were burning calories. When you dance, you're burning. But I mean, like one song.
That's what it was. It was one song that I was not excelling at the song.
No, and you were snacking as you went.
And no, I was fisting Doritos as I went.
You were fisting
It was the same as
Doritos.
Wii Fit. Like, I'm sorry, I was bowling. I was doing Wii Fit bowling, and I was like, this is exercise.
And you're like, my shoulders are huge.
Yeah.
They're massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, but the thing is about like and I don't want to always bring it back to a wedding or a communion or anything, but like when it came to the Cotton Eye Joe, because normally what they would do is like that was the time of the wedding or the event that they would play them all in a row.
They say get everyone on the dance floor.
So it was like a 30-minute workout.
It was like a
because
break,
they were like, okay, we're gonna start with that Cotton Eye Joe. You're gonna take it to the Macarena. We're gonna slow it down, but we're gonna focus on your upper body, and then we're gonna take it to
the
Cupid Shuffle, which that's also testing mental endurance because you have a lot of things to hear. You have a lot of things to hear, and then once you get the 5 hops this time.
That's the Macarena, babe. That's the cha-cha slide.
Oh, I'm thinking cha-cha
That's the cha-cha slide, babe.
What did you say, babe?
The Cupid Shuffle, and so did you.
Babe, the Cupid
Shuffle. You
Shuffle.
also said Cupid Shuffle.
The Cupid Shuffle. You're right. The Cupid Shuffle. You're going side. You're going left. You're going
down, do your thing.
Have you ever felt more connected to other generations than when you were doing
the electric slide?
Yes, because the thing is about the electric slide is like it just felt like it was a little out of reach for our generation.
It was, though, however, it was community building in a very serious way.
Because I would turn right, I would see my grandma. I would turn left, I would see my mother, and we're all
And then there you are, 2.5 feet tall, 2.5 feet round, sweating out of your mind,
dipping into one leg as I wind it up.
Shirt untucked, tie loosened, ready to go, ready to do the electric slide like you were like a 1960s jazz singer.
I'm like bumping into my Aunt B. Yep. I'm like, hey, Aunt B.
Wearing like a plastic fedora coated in sweat.
Yep.
Lay around your neck. Plastic lay around your neck.
It was such a beautiful bonding experience.
It really was.
And we're not getting that a lot. I think
it's time to go to the YMCA. It's time to go to the YMCA.
I really liked that one too, but I think we've talked about this. I never knew which way the C went.
The fact that you just said, I think we've talked about this, is actually the craziest part of that sentence.
Yeah, we definitely
There's no chance that we've talked about your YMCA experience.
I feel like
Why though? Because C for cat. This is what a C looks like. What do you mean why?
Because how
what do you mean why?
Why? How do you know that was the right way to go for a C?
Because I could tell that this is how a C goes. A C faces this way. No, wrong way. C.
What do you
mean?
I can't see that. Yeah, I know. I just like feel like, am I the only one that didn't know where the C would go? How the C would go?
Do you know how to write the letter C?
Yeah, I can write the letter C, but I think that like when I'm doing it with my body, it's a little bit different. It's a little different. Oh, jeez.
Good children to the guidance office.
I just was calling to let y'all know that I started listening to your podcast this week, and I'm like 3 episodes in, and I heard of y'all from the BCC Club and from Sloppy Seconds.
Yes.
And I'm glad that they gave the rec because I really like the podcast. I've already started laughing out loud at some of your episodes. My question is, and also I wanted to say that your podcast makes me dislike gay people a little bit less. My question is, the banter that you two have reminds me of the banter I have with some of my gay friends. And I notice that when I'm around my gay friends, I get a lot gayer, which is probably closer to who I actually am. So my question is, do you find that when you two are together, you're much more flamboyant? And when you're apart, you're a little less flamboyant? Thanks for the pod.
That's sweet.
Welcome to the Lamely.
Welcome to the Lamely.
Lamely, yeah.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey fans.
Mariah Carey. What I gathered from that, he said, you two are the gayest.
Yes, hey, faggots.
Hey, faggots.
Actually, do this faggy all the time. No, actually, I really appreciate that question.
Me too.
I also really appreciate the message in general.
Yeah.
It is interesting because I do only find out that people and as crazy as this sounds, because I know how we talk and how we act and what we talk about, I only find out that people perceive us as being gay out of our minds when they tell us.
Yeah.
Like otherwise I'm not really thinking much about it.
I really never think about it. But I do believe that like we bring it out in each other because we are so comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes to. Like, if your voice might sound different when you're gay, I think it's a comfort thing.
Yeah,
too.
you're
It's
undoing
like,
a few of the like
a few of the
walls
things.
that you put
I
up.
mean, like, yeah, I definitely think I'm less flamboyant when I'm around groups of people I don't know, right? Like, but like not in a way that like I'm trying to like present differently. I'm just not like using as much voice inflection.
When I'm at the bodega, I sound like I drive a truck. Otherwise, though, I think for me, things started to change when I was working at my last full-time job because it was all women. So I felt a little less need to like present as masc and like lower my voice. And like also, I think I just kind of assimilated in a big way. And then I feel like when we started the podcast, I remember hoping that people on dating apps wouldn't have seen the podcast so that they wouldn't see how I talked.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's why I was celibate for months.
Yeah, it was like, God forbid I was like, this is going to ruin any potential chance of someone liking me, which is also how I felt when I did the Abigail videos. I felt the same thing. I was like, no, I'm so femme here that like, actually this is going to destroy like so many options for like relationships, which is a crazy line of thinking. But I think for me, as I've now like been in over a year-long relationship with a drag queen, my best friend is the gayest person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Don't talk about Garrett like that.
my other really close friends are also like really just like very comfortable with like their masculinity and femininity. I feel like it's just like it's not even a thought anymore.
I think that like we do a really great job of balancing in different ways, but regardless if you're balancing, if you're extremely femme, if you're more masc, if it's whatever, it's like as long as you're releasing judgment. I think that especially I'm when you were speaking, thinking about the coming out process and thinking about like when I came out, my viewpoint on like gay voices was like, I'm never gonna sound like that. I'm never gonna sound like that. And because I think that like growing up, like I had a relatively deep voice. My whole
What happened
life.
to that one?
Oh, geez, I don't know. But again, as I got more comfortable, as I started making more gay friends or like becoming more comfortable with myself, hanging out with you, doing this podcast, like I can see my voice becoming more flamboyant, but in a way that like I love.
Yeah,
you know,
I think that when like to your point, I feel like when I was less happy with myself, I was more aware and more judgmental of other gays.
Yes.
And like such a big hater.
Oh, a hater on voices.
Such a hater on voices, a hater on style, a hater on appearance. Like anyone who I thought was like happy. Yeah. I was like, why are they acting like that? Like I would never be that gay. I would never act like that. I would never dress like that. And now it's like, I'm like, what can I do next? And like, give me something. Like, someone give me something. Like there was something out there that I can do. I'll do it. Like anything I like can think of now. Like there has been like the limit is gone. I've done drag. Yep. We've done drag. Actually, every single live show we've done. Like, I mean, I feel like there is just such a release of so many learned behaviors. I'm still gonna order my bacon, egg, and cheese like this though. That actually is not going to change, and I'm still going to answer the phone and talk like this as well. I really can't actually change that. I'm
also recognizing like we are so fortunate to obviously have each other in those situations because it's like this is obviously not everybody's experience to be as comfortable and open with like publicly, and like you can see the change in us from the beginning to now, and like it is beautiful.
And that's where I'll get to another fucking thing. And that's why when we get hate comments, if we ever get hate comments on TikTok, it's always from a gay man or a straight man. A gay man. I'm going to put quotation around straight because it is always pretty obvious that person is not yet out.
If a straight man is commenting on how a gay man is speaking
or anything
like,
about us,
it's like, why are you paying us that much attention?
Yes. And it's like, if you're going to, I mean, like, obviously I'm not discrediting every single critique we've ever gotten. Like if it's a valid critique on something, I'm listening to it. We've gotten feedback over the past 2 years where like things have been adjusted accordingly because it was like, oh, thank God someone pointed that out. But if it's like about our appearances or our voices, it's always a gay man or it's a straight woman who is really missing the mark on how she's being an ally.
It's a gay man who's not comfortable with themselves.
It's a gay man who's hating and jealous. It's like, oh, you're online. Where are your friends? What are you doing except like being a troll on the internet? Like if you see two gay men speaking to each other and you have something negative to say about their appearances or voices, it's like,
you know nothing about me.
No. And again, if you're saying, oh, you guys are talking about nothing, this is a useless podcast, sure. But if it's about things that are like not able to be changed, it's like you literally are looking for something because you are seeing us and you are feeling a physical reaction to us living our authentic truths.
Don't project your sadness onto me.
You took my sadness out of context at the Mariners apartment complex, and I ain't no candle in the wind.
Ooh,
come on, Joe and Andrew. Ooh, let's go to the drive-thru. We're going on a trip with your favorite kids. Gonna grab a snack and we'll be right back. Good children.
This is, you can look, because it's winter time. I figured maybe you need some soups.
Yes.
If not, I'm going to donate them to the soup kitchen.
Sweet potato corn chowder.
Put it to the side. Is that a yes soup?
Well, yes.
Because Joe, you know, he needed the yes soups. He needed the cauliflower soups. Then that went out the window. Take any what you want.
Andrew, you're really pathetic.
Andrew does really well with these little...
I do.
What's this? Why is this not going home?
I just feel
plant-based?
plant-based.
Joe, you don't want plant-based now all of a sudden?
Parts of palm linguine?
Yeah.
No, that's like eating disorder food. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's really good for you.
You gotta keep that.
No, keep it. Let's just look at the expiration dates. You have to check the expiration dates over there. No, those I could probably be put away.
I'm hungry.
I'm starving. I'm actually starving. I don't think have we really eaten today? Yeah.
You've been acting like I didn't make a big ass breakfast.
You did, but it was breakfast and it's 3 o'clock.
And then Andrew, you took out a bag of peanuts on the Long Island Railroad.
I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning, Joe. I need to eat. My body needs food.
I feel like I'm not trying to be mean because I would never. I would never.
I know you'll be mean.
I wasn't even going to be mean at all. I was going to say, thank God you have that job because what would you complain about?
That's not very nice.
The podcast?
Driving your ass around.
Well, then let's quit the podcast right now.
I quit.
Let me out.
I quit. What are you most excited about for Arby's?
Well, is that where we're going?
We're going to Arby's. They got milkshakes, I'll tell you that. They got sliders on the menu. Decide what you will, but I do believe we need to try the roast beef. Unless we split it. I know you hate splitting things.
I'm not splitting a sandwich.
I know you hate splitting things.
Here's the thing, and Andrew, I've been actually haunted by something Andrew said at dinner the other night, where he said, Joe just doesn't like sharing with me. And that's not true because I share the spotlight with him. And that's not true because I share an apartment and I share my light and my love and my kindness
for sure.
and my wisdom.
I experience that sharing. But
I share my concern.
I do believe that it irks you to share other things with
I don't like sharing food with you.
Yes.
Because I think that the way that you eat is a little bit gross.
But it's not the share of it all doesn't have to do with anything.
It's giving share. It's giving share.
Especially if it's a sandwich, it's you pick up the other
I know,
half.
but for some reason, the sandwich, listen, I'm sorry. I made a big mistake at brunch this weekend, and I literally have not lived it down where I said to Andrew, I didn't want to split a sandwich. Lo and behold, neither of us had the second half of our sandwiches, so it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't a loss on anyone's part.
I agree.
But it's been it's like I killed someone this weekend at brunch from Andrew. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I would split that fucking sandwich with you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Next time.
Yeah, I'm very sorry.
I appreciate the apology. I accept it.
It was very kind. It was a very nice apology too at that. It was very heartfelt.
That was.
Anyways. What was I saying? Oh, there's some other things that I don't like sharing with Andrew.
Clothes.
That's not true.
Listen,
you
will share them with me. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it.
I keep popping this pimple. It's getting worse and worse. That's not true.
Joe.
What do you mean?
I feel, and maybe it's me projecting because I feel an immense sense of guilt anytime I ask if I'm like, hey Joe, is there any way I can wear your denim jacket?
But that does not stop you from asking.
Well, no, because I would hope I could still feel comfortable asking a friend that I would give the shirt off my back for. But yeah, otherwise I think that you're really good at sharing.
The other thing I don't like sharing with you, and I think I think the people will understand because I'm sure they're on your side about this entire thing. How could they not be? I think everyone would agree. So occasionally I'll buy a pre-workout. Occasionally I'll buy something that involves working out. Or even sometimes when we were sharing groceries for 3 years, that was also kind of sick of us. But for like a pre-workout, I don't necessarily love the idea of sharing a pre-workout with Andrew. And here's why. He works out sometimes twice a day. I work out sometimes twice a week. So if I'm sharing, if I buy my own personal pre-workout tub and share that with Andrew, the pre-workout that I spent like $30 on will be gone in 2 weeks because Andrew will deplete it. And that is just simply a matter of fact-based reporting.
What if are the days that we worked out together? I'll get my own pre-workout, Joe. I get it.
Do you hear yourself?
I get it.
And that's what I mean, like those kinds of things. Like I feel like sometimes you'll body slam my toothpaste to smithereens.
Well, let's not bring up toothpaste. I feel like you've used my toothpaste too. Those things are up for grabs. Those things are up for grabs.
That's not a normal roommate situation. Those are not things that are up for grabs for other roommates. Up for grabs.
If it was like a specialty toothpaste, different. If it was Colgate.
But it's my toothpaste, and I had to buy a new one because you cleared it out.
And I got some. I got 2 tubes.
I don't use your toothpaste. I would never use your toothpaste.
I don't use anything else of yours.
So what should I get?
I know I was thinking that because there's chicken sandwiches, which is interesting.
No.
There's roast beef, which they have sliders. They have sliders.
Yes, sir.
And then also, did I turn in the wrong?
No.
No. Yeah, I did.
No.
It's the next parking lot.
You're kidding.
Swear to you. Swear to you. Because this is Qdoba, correct? Damn. Next one. I'm thinking Arby's.
I'm thinking Arby's. Is that the slogan?
I think it is.
Maybe I'm wrong. I've been thinking Arby's.
Let's go Arby's.
We are always
tonight.
in this parking lot. We haven't done Qdoba yet.
We haven't. Well, that will happen soon.
Because Qdoba got me through COVID.
They have mac and cheese bites. I'm glowing. But yeah, I think that we're gonna get a little bit of a few options. I would slider it. I would also potentially, I don't know about the milkshake. Like, I'm craving it for sure. I just don't think that my stomach can bring itself to process it because I know what I'm getting myself into later.
Which is what?
Which is a Broadway musical that I've been told is very long from you. So, if that's the case, gotta get to Hula Hands. I gotta get to Hula Hands.
It's insane how much you talk about Hula Hands.
It's like, when are they gonna cash out? When are they gonna
insane how much you talk about Hula Hands. You're good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Thank you. I was told this morning that I'm glowing by my nutritionist.
Does your nutritionist know that you're going to Arby's for lunch?
I think that my nutritionist, like, actually celebrates originality, and he knows that I have a podcast where I eat fast food, and I told him that.
What is that? Who is that? The fuck?
You're gonna need these, they're saying.
What the fuck are those?
The wolves are keeping away the geese, Joe.
I've never seen
a bacon ranch cheesesteak. Okay, we're sitting here because no one's ever here.
Life-size model wolves.
Look, what do you want?
Coyotes.
Let's get serious.
You can't just not acknowledge the coyote.
Joe, they're meant for the geese.
I know what they're meant for.
You've seen the dogs before? We're dealing with a geese issue in this state, on this island. There's many geese. Gooses.
It's geese.
It's geese. What do you want?
Hi, welcome to Arby's. How can I help you?
Hey, can I get the beef and cheese, the classic meal?
Regular or large?
Regular. What do you want for a drink?
Diet Coke.
With a Diet Coke?
With curly or crinkle fries?
Curly. And then I'm gonna do the corned beef Reuben. And then I'm gonna do the fried mac and cheese bites.
Total $32.58.
Thank you.
It's $32.58.
$32.58.
Do you guys think it's crazy that, like, Andrew, I asked him, I didn't get this on camera, but I said to him, can you order me a milkshake? And he said, no, you don't need that.
I literally never said that. There's a general malaise. I need to sip, I need to snack, and I need to shove. And you know what? It's not too fast, which means fresh. But I would prefer it a little bit quicker because I would love the mac and cheese bites right now.
Diet Coke.
Which, I'll tell you the one thing about the Diet Coke.
Diet Coke is, I would say it's a 7 out of 10.
It's a 7 out of 10. What is the hold up? What is the hold up? What? There's no one in there. What is the hold up?
This smells like Sunrise Mall.
Back to our parking lot. All right, just finding a spot. That man looked like the coach of the Jets. It's a big. It's a double B. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Okay, we're starting with them.
Okay.
Mac and cheese bites. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hot.
Not a lot of mac, a lot of cheese.
Lot of cheese. Which I'm
Good.
fine with.
They're fresh. They're good. They're crunchy. The thing is about Arby's, the curl that they accomplish. You wish.
One bite.
Pastrami Reuben. I told you, when you come here, you gotta get the pastrami Reuben. I understand that the roast beef is good. Oh my God, Joe.
It's cheesy.
Joe, I'm jealous.
Oh, whoa.
Joe, I'm experiencing jealousy.
God, look at that.
I'm experiencing jealousy.
What's this bun?
What's that sauce?
What's that sauce? That's the Arby's sauce.
Can I get some Arby's sauce?
Andrew, that looks like a very good Reuben.
That's what I'm saying to you, Joe.
That looks beyond just what you would get at a fast food place. I mean, it's looking like, it's no Jewish deli Reuben.
No.
The thing about Arby's meat is no meat should look like that. But no meat should taste like this as well. You know when we got Arby's?
Pastrami Reuben. What? When?
Do you know when we got Arby's together?
Was it a traumatic experience?
Long Island Hunger Games.
Yes.
Long Island Hunger Games. We got Arby's.
I remember the
afterwards.
highway. That's like, it's kind of like a Sunrise Highway. Yeah, I remember that. I was having a miserable time.
And we were both like it was afterwards.
Because I think that we wanted Taco Bell.
And my dad was like, we should get Arby's.
I think something happened and we ended up at an Arby's. This is very good. I'll tell you one thing. Not enough meat.
No, I was
on
thinking the same thing about that. It's not bad. I think it's different. It's not necessarily something you gotta get. It's Arby's. And that's their slogan.
I do remember the roast beef gyro being very good.
But you're someone who has said gyro before.
I have said gyro before. People have corrected me. But you know what? I've leaned in. If you're gonna do it wrong, you might as well always say it wrong.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
America's roast beef? Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. I hope you learned something. I hope you laughed at something. And I hope you loved something. And I hope you love us because we love you.
And I hope you love your friends. And if you don't love your friends, like maybe it's time to have a conversation to be communicative.
Which, after this, I want to talk to you.
Yeah. I have a few things to say about you. Otherwise, you know what to do. You know where to find us across all social media platforms at Good Children Pod. I'm on social media at Andrew Muscarella on Instagram, at Andrew_Muskie on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok at Be Quiet Joe, just pissing people off by accident. And I'm on Instagram at Joe Hegyes.
Just pissing people off because you
pissing.
can.
Just
and
pissing.
Don't forget to do your homework. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, write a little something, spread the good word. And join the Patreon, $7 buckaroos a month.
Zigzag, step aside, lean in a clap 3 times, take it out, head to toe, throw it all together, that's how we roll.
Your hoe down.
Down.
I'm about to throw
Down.